Hi friends, Vanakkam. Welcome back to Keystone IAS Academy for our daily editorial discussion from The Hindu dated November 11th. Today's edition covers four powerful topics all super relevant for UPSC GS paper 2 and 3. So let's get started. Our first article, New Horizons, focuses on the COP30 climate summit happening in Belém, Brazil, exactly 10 years after the Paris Agreement. Now, COP and climate change are among the most repeated UPSC topics because every year at least one question comes from this area. So, even if it sounds repetitive, every editorial gives a new angle or perspective, and that's what we will explore today. Ideally, this summit should have been a moment to celebrate progress. Here you can see the COP timeline. Every day I have included in this slide, so which is very important. Go through that. Now coming to the article, yes, the summit should have been a moment to celebrate progress, but instead the world looks divided. The United States has once again withdrawn from the Paris Agreement, showing a growing trend of climate isolationism. It even blocked a key resolution at the International Maritime Organization that aimed to shift shipping away from fossil fuels. So, even though global investments in clean energy are rising, the US still has the power to disrupt collective climate action. Brazil, the host country, is calling this the implementation COP. This we are seeing this for I think for past 3-4 days. So it's a very important thing. The COP30, what Brazil called this as implementation COP. What it means again, it's time to move from promises to actual action. So we need measurable results. The same theme we are repeating for some 3-4 times today. This is very 3-4 times. This is very important again. So what it is? It's time to move from promises to action, actual action. So the focus area for COP30 include this also again. It is a repeating thing. We'll just go through fastly. So financing for climate adaptation and forest protection, strengthening carbon markets, possibly creating a global climate council for better accountability. This we discussed in detailed yesterday's theme. Where we have here it is. You can see what are the themes of COP30. Adaptation financing, forest preservation, carbon credit markets, and reforming the UN multilateral process to make it more decisive, and a proposal for climate council. Okay, so the article points out that this is the moment for developing countries like India, China, Brazil, and South Africa to step up and lead. These countries have historically polluted less, but now they must lead by example through innovation, fair contributions, and international cooperation. So, the key takeaway is India must start working on an internal strategy to position itself as a global leader in climate governance. This is a highly repeated theme, but since it becomes very important, now coming to the practice question, with developed nations faltering in their climate commitments, how can developing economies such as India, Brazil, China, and South Africa take leadership in addressing the global climate crisis? Discuss with reference to COP30 and the Paris Agreement. So, trust me, you will know how well you understand it only when you actually write the answer. See, COP30 is a highly repeated topic and we have discussed it like multiple times so far. But only when you start writing, you will understand how much your knowledge is. So please do write and post your answers in our Telegram group for review. So coming to the second article, India's special envoy to COP30 for South Asia. It gives a regional perspective. Basically, what countries like India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and the Maldives are expecting from the summit. That is what. So again, it is same COP30. What this article is giving us a regional perspective. What these developing countries are expecting from the summit is what the article says. And it is again same COP30. So here we will see what are the or I can say the author highlights 5 key priorities for South Asia. So I will explain one by one. First is implementation gap. The biggest problem isn't lack of promises, it's poor implementation is what the article says. Out of 203 global climate initiatives since 2015, only 5% achieved their goals. Here you can see the study name is also given. So, South Asia needs to strengthen regional cooperation through groups like BIMSTEC or BRICS to coordinate actions and share progress. Okay, this is the first priority. The second one is adaptation must equal mitigation. Okay, what is that? It's not enough to just cut emissions. We also need to adapt to changing climates. Okay. South Asia faces floods, glacial lake burst, heat waves, and coastal erosion. So, according to the ADB, the region could face over 200 days of extreme heat above 35 degrees Celsius by 2100. That's why both traditional knowledge and modern technology are needed for climate resilience. Okay, so it is not just enough to cut emissions, we also need to adapt. The traditional knowledge plus modern technology, both are required for climate resilience. This is the second priority. And the third one is rebuilding trust. Developed nations have repeatedly failed to deliver on their climate finance promises. So to rebuild global trust, they must honor commitments and align actions with the 1.5 degrees Celsius target. Coming to the fourth one. Finance that's predictable, fair, and accessible. Funds should come as grants, not debt, and must be easily accessible to vulnerable countries. This is a very important point. The Baku to Belem roadmap targets $1.3 trillion by 2035, but South Asia wants clarity on who pays, how much, and when. That is very important. So, funds should come as grants, not debt. Then the fifth one is empowering non-state actors. So governments can't do this alone. We need civil society, youth, private companies and researchers to work together, sharing knowledge, funding innovation and ensuring accountability. So the author sums it up perfectly, which is delivery is the new diplomacy. In short, again the same theme, COP30 success depends on clarity, cooperation and real implementation. So this is what again the theme is very similar to the previous article. We need actionable results from COP30. That is what the author is arguing, and these 5 points are very much important for writing mains answer. So coming to the mains practice question for South Asia, COP30 is not just a global negotiation but a regional survival strategy. So we are seeing COP30 from the regional perspective, from South Asia's perspective. That is what the article is, that is what the mains question is also asking. So examine the key priorities and collective responsibilities of South Asian nations in addressing the climate crisis. Now, our third article is about the Global Inequality Report 2024, which is released by World Inequality Lab, Paris School of Economics. That is less important, but also this report, the data from this report is very important for writing answers in mains. Okay, so yes, I have already said it's a very important report. You can easily use its data and insights in your UPSC mains answers on economy and social justice especially. So here's what it says. 83 coming to the article. Yes, you can see about Global Inequality Report here. It was first released in 2018 and which updates every few years. The latest edition was released on 2024. Now coming to the analysis, what the report says 83% of countries covering 90% of the global population experience high income inequality, which means Gini coefficient is above 0.4. So here it is mentioned Gini coefficient of 0 indicates perfect equality, 1 means inequality, perfect inequality. And what high income inequality? About 83% of the countries are experiencing high income inequality, which is above 0.4. So what could be the main reason? The article says the share of national income going to capital, meaning profits, rents and dividends keeps rising while labor income stagnates. What are these labor incomes? Wages and salaries stagnates. So what is the main theme here? Capital is rising but labor income stagnates. What capital includes? Profit, rents and dividends. What labor income includes? Wages and salaries, which is stagnated. I will give you with the exact data. So you can see here, there is one, yes, okay, between, here it is, between 1990 and 2024, 1990 and 2024, the capital share increased in 56% of countries. That's 74% of world's population. In India, 97% of people earn less than $100 per year in capital income, meaning wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few. Then coming to from 2019 to 2024, CEO pay rose by 50% while worker pay rose by less than 1%. So even though economies are growing, inequality is widening. That is what the main argument is. Okay, that's what the report says, that CEO's salary or rose by 50%, but workers' wages increased by less than 1%. What it indicates? Wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few. So what the article says, public wealth is declining while private wealth is soaring. Governments are getting poorer while billionaires get richer. This increases public debt and weakens social welfare systems. And it's not just economic, inequality also leads to social gaps. Social gaps. It's not just economic theme. It also inequality leads to social gaps. For example, in the US, African American women are twice as likely to die during childbirth compared to white women. A clear link between economic inequality and social inequality. So coming to the practice question, the widening gap between capital and labor income reflects a global crisis of inequality. Discuss the causes, implications and policy measures required to achieve equitable growth in India. So this is a quite direct question. So you can write the answer here. So our final article is quite interesting. It's based on the ideas of Joel Mokyr, one of this year's Nobel laureates in economics. His main argument is simple but powerful. Innovation doesn't just depend on creating knowledge, it depends on sharing it. Okay. Okay, here is the article. So in between the one more article is there, pay commission. So I will coming to that article later. So this article is what I have talked about. What is this? I will come again one more time. Our final article is quite interesting. So this is the final article. It's based on the ideas of Joel Mokyr, one of this year's Nobel laureates in economics. His main argument is simple but powerful. What is the argument is, innovation doesn't just depend on creating knowledge, it depends on sharing it. Also, he distinguishes between two types of knowledge, which are propositional knowledge and prospective knowledge. Propositional knowledge answers why, which means understanding theories and scientific principles. Here it is. Prospective knowledge means it answers how, knowing the techniques and skills. A country grows faster when both these kinds of knowledge are widely accessible, when everyone, not just an elite few, can use them. That is what. Everyone should share the knowledge. In India, social barriers like caste historically restricted access to education. Even today, higher education is dominated by the elite. And with the rise of and with the rise of private universities, quality education has become too expensive for many. Then comes automation and AI, another challenge. As machines take over routine jobs, this is also we argued some few days before. So fewer as machines take over routine jobs, fewer humans actually learn the technical skills needed for innovation. This reduces the overall spread of practical knowledge in society. What is the key message? Knowledge must be democratized. When access is restricted, innovation suffers. But when learning is open and inclusive, societies grow faster, fairer, and more innovative. So coming to the practice question, why is access to knowledge is essential for innovation and economic growth? How do social barriers and automation restrict the free flow of knowledge, and what are the implications for societies like India? Coming to the article we missed before, it's about the 8th Central Pay Commission, a key topic for governance and economy. So, what's a pay commission? It's a government appointed body that reviews salaries, pensions, and service conditions of central government employees and defense personnel. The facts are much important from this topic. So the first CPC was set up in 1946, and now we have the 8th CPC chaired by Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, which will submit its report in 18 months. The commission's main task is to ensure fair pay while maintaining fiscal discipline. Its terms of reference include considering economic conditions, pension liabilities, the impact on states, and comparing government pay with the PSUs and private sector standards. Globally, public sector pay systems have evolved from ensuring fairness in the 1970s to promoting efficiency and performance based pay today. India still faces challenges. Entry level pay is good, but senior level pay is low, discouraging experts from joining. The compression ratio is 1 is to 12.5, and the pension bill is already huge, 2.76 lakh crore in 2025-26. So the author or the article suggests India should revisit pay for top and specialist roles, include non-monetary benefits like training and flexible work, maintain fiscal prudence, and bring HR and finance experts into the commission. So here is your practice question. Discuss the role and relevance of pay commissions in India. How public sector compensation systems evolved over time. What are the key terms of reference, global practices, and measures to attract and retain talent. That's all for today. Right, okay, that's all. So friends, we explored climate leadership, regional cooperation, finance, inequality, all are connected to India's growth. So remember, just watching or reading is not enough. Try to write answers daily, even if it is short ones, and share them in our Telegram group for feedback. So stay consistent, keep learning, and believe in your small daily progress. That's what adds up to success. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow with more insights from the Hindu. Thank you.